5:58. 2 minutes before the alarm. Nailed it again. Oh, look at the birds. I am making the best coffee today. The sun. It's coming up. Honestly, today is going to be a great day. I can just feel it.
It's 6:30 in the morning. Jeff's alarm goes off and he's already awake. He was already awake for 20 minutes actually. He made some coffee, watched the sunrise, maybe went for a jog, and he feels really good about it, you know? Not fake good, actually genuinely good. Jeff is the kind of a guy who says morning to you, like it's a gift he's giving. Thanks for nothing, Jeff. Just who do you think you are? Meanwhile...
No. Who set an alarm? Why is there an alarm? Why is there light? Why is there a morning at all?
Across the town, Mike is lying face down in his bed like existence itself has defeated him. His alarm went off 4 times. He turned it off, went back to sleep, woke up in panic, checked his phone, decided he had 5 more minutes, and that was 45 minutes ago. When he finally drags himself upright, he doesn't talk to anyone for at least an hour. He just kind of floats through the morning like a ghost with Wi-Fi, drowned in himself. Personally, I love you, Mike. I wish more people were like you, Mike. You see, Mike isn't lazy. He's not broken, he's not undisciplined, and he's definitely not doing this on purpose to ruin everyone's morning. And the same goes for Jeff. He's not some superhuman with more willpower than the rest of us either. Their bodies are literally running on different clocks. Right now, I'm gonna talk about why, if you stay of course. Well, we can somehow start with the actual concept here, because this thing has a name and it's not Mike being dramatic. It's called chronotype. Your chronotype is basically your body's natural preference. When to sleep, when to wake up, when to feel sharp, and when to just completely shut down. And just like height or eye color, it sits on a spectrum. On one end, you've got the extreme morning people, the Jeffs of the world. On the other end, you've got extreme night owls, the Mikes. And then most people are somewhere in the middle, leaning one way or the other. Now, society has a very strong opinion about which end of this spectrum is the right end. And you guessed it right. Yeah, it's not the Mikes obviously. Every productivity book, every motivational speech, every what successful people do before 7 AM article is basically a love letter to Jeff. Schools start early, jobs start early. The whole world just kind of assumed morning was the correct setting for humans. But here's what those articles always forget to mention. Poor Mike didn't choose his chronotype, and neither did Jeff. It was chosen for them. And to understand why, you have to go small, really small. Inside every single cell in your body, there is a molecular clock. Not metaphorically, literally. A cluster of genes running on roughly a 24-hour cycle, switching proteins on and off, controlling your hormones, your body temperature, your digestion, your focus, everything. This is called your circadian rhythm. From the Latin circadian, meaning about a day. The master clock that coordinates all of this lives in a tiny part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is honestly just a cruel name. And sorry you had to read that, we're just gonna call it the SCN. The SCN sits right above where your optic nerves cross, because its whole job is to use light as its reference point. When light hits your eye in the morning, a signal goes through the SCN and your body goes, okay, day is starting. Let's drop melatonin, raise cortisol, bring the body temperature up. Let's go, come on baby, come on. This is Jeff's favorite part of the day, and then at night, as the light fades, melatonin rises again, and your body slowly starts winding down towards sleep. This is the part Mike keeps waiting for, and it keeps showing up late. This whole system is elegant, ancient, and shared by basically every living thing on Earth. Even Mike's houseplant that he keeps forgetting to water still has a circadian rhythm. Technically, it's more disciplined than he is, but that clock doesn't run at the same speed for everyone, and those differences, they are not random. It's written into your DNA. Genes like clock, PER3 and CRY1 literally dictate when your body wants to sleep. Take the CRY1 gene for example. One mutation stretches your natural cycle past 24 hours, not by much. just enough to throw everything off kilter. So when Mike swears he can't fall asleep at 10 p.m., he's not making excuses. His melatonin hasn't shown up yet. He's being asked to sleep before his biological bedtime every single night. Scientists call this social jet lag. It's the clash between your biology and your schedule. And for someone like Mike, the gap can stretch 2, 3, even 4 hours wide. Now you're probably thinking, okay, but can't Mike just adjust, train himself out of it? And yeah, there are a few things you can actually do about it. We will get there, but you can't fully override your chronotype any more than you can override your height by standing up straighter. And there is an actual research on this. Studies that track people's natural sleep timing when there's no schedule pressure, camping trips, alarm-free vacations consistently show that people just drift back to their biological preference. Jeff wakes up early even on holiday, and Mike stays up late even when he has nowhere to be on the next day. Which makes you wonder, if it sucks so much to be out of sync, why are night owls even a thing? A 2016 study looked at the Kosang people of Namibia, a hunter-gatherer community whose lifestyle is pretty close to how early humans likely lived, and tracked their sleep with wrist monitors. What they found was that the group didn't all fall asleep at the same time. There was almost always someone awake. Different people had different natural sleep windows, which meant the group naturally had coverage throughout the night. In other words, chronotype diversity might have been a collective survival strategy. So Mike, he might have literally been the night shift. Society just forgot to thank him for it. Thanks for your service, buddy. Meanwhile, Jeff took the early shift and somehow got hailed as the responsible one. Oh god, the audacity. It's literally stolen valor. But don't worry, friend. Jeff's time is coming. Everyone's chronotype shifts with age. If you ever lived with a teenager, or if you remember being one, you know, they are basically nocturnal. They want to sleep until noon. They come alive somewhere around 9 p.m. and dragging them to school at 7 a.m. is basically their 4 a.m. The schools that have tried later start times consistently see better attendance, better mood, better focus, better grades. And the science on this is pretty well settled at this point, which raises the obvious question. If we know all this, why does nearly every school still start at the crack of dawn? Anyway, then in midlife, your 50s and your 60s, you naturally become a morning person, waking at dawn without an alarm. Then again, in your 70s, it reverses, shifting later again, like a second adolescence. You stop feeling tired at 9 p.m. and start staying alert into the evening. By your 80s, some people return into an in-between rhythm, while others just keep drifting later and later. Well, the science part was nice. Now it gets kind of dark. Mike, this part is about you. Force yourself awake before your body is ready for years, and you don't just feel tired, you get miserably worse at being alive. You're cutting sleep short on the restorative end, the part where your body does actual repairs. 5 mornings a week, every week, forever, and weekends don't fix it. Your hunger hormones lose the plot. Blood sugar regulation goes sideways. You crave more. Store more fat, blood pressure creeps up, inflammation builds. Your brain just politely notes that you're an idiot and keeps a tally. None of this announces itself. You're not collapsing in the street. You're just always slightly off. Like a phone at 8% battery that refuses to die but also refuses to work. So what can you actually do with all this? Light is the strongest lever you have. Getting bright light, ideally actual sunlight, into your eyes within the first hour after waking tells your SCN to anchor your clock a little earlier. Done consistently, this can nudge your rhythm forward by 30 to 60 minutes over a couple of weeks. On the flip side, avoiding bright light in the evening, especially the blue wavelength light from your phone, gives melatonin a chance to show up on time. Your phone isn't just mentally stimulating, it's literally telling your internal clock that it's still the middle of afternoon. Keeping consistent sleep and wake times, including weekends, reduces social jet lag more than almost anything else. Your clock is looking for an anchor. Give it one and it will settle. Just stop fighting the wiring of your brain. Find your peak hours, figure out when your brain actually shows up, and aim the important stuff there. Stop apologizing for it. And no, sharpest hours and sleep hours aren't the same thing. If your brain is sharpest at 2 a.m. when it should be asleep, you're fighting your biology twice. Go to bed or don't. Honestly, at this point, you know which one you are. Thanks for staying up with me. See you soon.